Hi guys, welcome back to the channel, Subsistence Traveling. I'm your host Jay. Today we're talking about 10 water stocks that you need to buy now. Okay, and we know water is an essential element. Okay, all right, so I'm going to give you an opportunity to look at the disclaimer. All right, so I'm going to go ahead with the case for water. Now, obviously, we all know it's a very limited resource. We have emerging markets, many countries with growing populations, and they don't know how they're gonna, you know, provide clean drinking water. A good portion of the world does not have access to clean drinking water. Water concentration. Water concentration has to deal with the fact that, again, a large portion of the world does not have access to clean water. And there are just a few countries that with an abundance of clean, fresh water. Okay, so there are many countries that, point blank period just have to import water. And more countries are gonna continue to have to do that. And there are countries that have, an abundance of water, such as Canada and Russia and, several other countries and so forth. Also, we want to also consider water intensive industries. Industries such as making computer chips are very water intensive. Obviously, agriculture is very water intensive. Um, Oil refining and even sometimes oil production can be very water intensive. So there are many water intensive industries. Okay. And so, as always, we want to look at the criteria that's used to select these stocks. We look at profitability, valuation, liquidity and solvency, dividend, and the fundamentals of the sector slash industry. And so, the first stock we're looking at is PENTAIR, ticker symbol PNR, priced at $52.46, price to earnings of 23.05, price book of 2.94, and it pays a dividend of 1.52%. Okay, and this stock has come a long way very quickly. A few months ago, I was looking at this at $28. I was waiting for a pullback, never happened. Funny enough, I owned the stock a few years ago, like back around 2010 and so forth. Yeah, I bought it at around $35 and sold it for 101. It did good some good things for me. This is a water company. They make pipes, water infrastructure, and they also make pool products. They consider themselves a very diversified water company. And especially when we see certain countries are moving up in the emerging markets, the first thing they may want to do is to improve their water infrastructure, the piping and so forth. And Pentair is one of the countries that the companies that would benefit from that. All right, we have Consolidated Water, ticker symbol CWCO, priced at $12.33. Price to earnings of 21.37. Price to book of 1.16. Pays a dividend of 2.76%. Okay, and this is a company that's based in the Cayman Islands. They're a water utility in the Cayman Islands, but they also do they own a lot of desalination projects and desalination plants. You know, projects in Mexico and all over the world. They do business globally. I think desalination will become a big thing in the future. You know, because I don't see what the other option would be. You know, The world is, quickly running out of fresh water, so desalination should be very big, and consolidated water is one of the big players in desalination. We have essential utilities, ticker symbol WTRG, priced at $46.08. Price to earnings of 43.43. Price to book of 2.44. Pays a dividend of 2.18%. Okay, and this is a water utility. They operate in several states, such as Pennsylvania, Illinois, California, and several other states. A lot of states in the Northeast. Yeah, again, a utility. You know, um, very stable earnings. I guess everyone tries to pay their water bills. If you was to exclude this whole crisis and this whole pandemic, people generally pay their water bills. So water utilities tend to be one of the safer parts of the utility space. So definitely something to look at. All right, so we have AEGION, ticker symbol AEGN, priced at $19.20. Price to earnings of 231.06. Price to book of 1.5, and it pays a dividend of 0%. Okay, and it's just a little bit over book value. Not too much. This company is a water. They help with the building of water infrastructure. Okay. They also operate in the energy space too, but they operate in the water infrastructure, energy infrastructure space. And like I said, I believe, governments will increase spending on infrastructure, and I believe water infrastructure. In many countries, water infrastructure is lacking. And even here in the United States, I believe the water infrastructure can use some improvement. So I believe, a company like this will see some new contracts and so forth. All right, so we have AO Smith, ticker symbol AOS, priced at $55.62. Price to earnings of 27.84. Price to book of 6.07, and it pays a dividend of 1.87%. Okay, and this one, they make technologies, like water heaters and different things that purify water and so forth. The valuation is very high, obviously. But it's a good company. Consistent earnings, a lot of growth. So it's definitely they operate globally. So it's definitely something to look at. Heat and water is, I get, obviously it's one of the ways to purify water and stuff of that nature. All right, so we have Cia de Saneamiento. The name is actually longer, but it's basically they're a water utility. They're responsible for the water and wastewater in the state of Sao Paulo in Brazil. And Brazil is another country. They're believed to have a good supply of water, but they're rapidly, it's an economy that depends heavily on agriculture, and agriculture is a very water intensive industry. So Brazil will, in the future, I believe Brazil is going to have some challenges when it comes to water. And so Sao Paulo is a very fast growing, very highly populated area. So yeah, this is something that's, it's decently valued, a low priced stock. So definitely something to look at. They used to pay a dividend, but since the pandemic, they've cut the dividend. So, maybe in a little bit they'll return with the dividend. All right, so we have Primo Water, ticker symbol PRMW, priced at $16.16, price to earnings of 78.70, price to book of 1.88, pays a dividend of 1.49%. This is a Canadian company. They operate in the water delivery business. They provide water distribution systems, for offices, homes, but they also have a network where water can be delivered to your home or your office. And I believe this is going to be a very important thing going forward. But, just because how food delivery is becoming very popular, I believe water delivery, because sometimes carrying these gallons of water, it can be, so I think water delivery will be a big thing. And I'm considering in buying this one myself. Okay, I think this is actually a growth stock. Next is Mueller Water Products, ticker symbol MWA, priced at $12.17, price to earnings of 23.73, price to book of 3.0, pays a dividend of 1.81%. I'm sorry. Okay, so this it was a mistake. The price is $12.17. The price to earnings is 23.73. Okay, I mean, when we look at it, the valuation is high, 3 times book. However, this is a company that makes things such as flow control devices, valves, fire extinguishers, and also, things that can monitor the flow of water. And as water become a very scarce resource, measurement becomes very important. I've traveled to certain countries where people are very alert and keen to measure their usage of water and so forth. So I think as like I said, water becomes more and more scarce, the measurement of water will become even more important, and companies like Mueller Water Products will benefit. Again, another growth stock. All right, so we have Energy Recovery, ticker symbol ERII, priced at 13.75, price to earnings of 31.85, price to book of 4.7, and no dividend. Okay, and again, this is a company. They focus on water purification. They water recycling, especially in the energy space. Like I said, the energy fossil fuels, oil and gas sector can be very water intensive. So this company focus on recycling the water. They also purify the water, and also they also focus on desalination. They have a really big desalination business, reverse osmosis, and so forth. So yeah, this is a big play on desalination. The valuation is high. However, it's a growth stock because desalination will be very important in the future. Last but not least is a company called Pure Cycle, PCYO, priced at $11.20, price to earnings of 34.30, price to book of 3.3, and no dividend. Okay. The valuation is high, it's nevertheless it's a low dollar price stock. This is a water utility. They uh they, they provide the water utility services in the Denver metro area. They also have different water businesses various water businesses. I don't know, it's not coming to me right now, but they have various water businesses outside of that utility business. And again, I think this is a good one to look at. So here's some things to consider. Okay, utilities are not always safe. A lot of people, the would like to own the utilities because they believe the earnings are consistent. But you cannot always look at it that way. It's good to be diversified, because what this crisis has showed, governments can just come out and say, okay, we're going to have a moratorium on utility bills. And if the government says you can't collect utility bills, then you can't. And you just have to face that. So the utilities are good to own, but that's something to, contracts can always be renegotiated. These are the utilities, you're dealing with contract businesses, and contracts can always be renegotiated. So that's something to take a look at. These, like I said, desalination will be a big trend going forward. At before, many people said, okay, it was too expensive to do, but there's so many desalination projects going on across the globe. It's not even funny. Okay, so be on the lookout for that. Water technology on the whole, that's you know that, that's something, plenty of opportunities will be in water technology. You know, companies like Xylem and so forth. Water delivery, like I mentioned earlier about Primo water. I believe water delivery will become very important in the future. And so here's some other companies to consider. Okay, they didn't make the list for whatever particular reason, but nevertheless, they're decent companies. We have Xylem, ticker symbol XYL, American Water Works, ticker symbol AWK, Evoqua, ticker symbol Aqua, Badger Meter, ticker symbol BMI, Viola, ticker symbol VEOEY. You could tell that's a over-the-counter exchange. It's a French company. If you could buy it in on French exchange, I guess that would be best. We have Suez, ticker symbol SZSAY. Again, another French company. If you could buy it directly, I guess that would be best. As I always say, peace to all.